Hello everyone, and thanks for watching today's video tech tip. Have you ever wanted to take a picture, maybe some kind of silhouette of a logo or some kind of image, like this Sasquatch here, and turn it into something that we could make using SolidWorks? If we use the sketch picture command, along with the Autotrace add-in, we can turn some kind of screenshot into lines in a sketch that we can use to manufacture a real-world object. If I just go into SolidWorks, you can see this is an example of one prior. I'll show you how I made this thing with as little effort as possible. If we go into a part file, I just started out by drawing a 4-foot by 8-foot sheet. It could be any material, whatever we want to make this out of. Now I'll start a sketch on the front of that material. And I have to make sure that I have my Autotrace add-in turned on. Underneath your gear icon, you'll see add-ins. If you hit the little drop down, underneath SolidWorks add-ins, you should see an Autotrace command. Just click that checkbox to make sure it's on and say OK. Now when we insert a sketch picture into this sketch, we'll have the Autotrace functionality turned on. If I hit the S key for the S key shortcut, it'll give you a search bar. You could search for any command. I'm going to search for sketch picture. There you can see sketch picture. We have to be inside a 2D sketch to pop this thing in. If you like it, you can either click the plus or drag and drop it on the menu, and it'll be there the next time that you need to use it when you hit the S key. I'll grab the sketch picture command and insert an image of this Sasquatch and maybe make it a little bit bigger so it fits on the sheet. Maybe something like this. It helps to have a high quality image. This was something I found royalty free, but the higher quality the image, the better this will work. Now if I go into the next arrow here, we wouldn't have these next arrows if we didn't have the Autotrace command turned on. I can choose to either try to draw around him with any of these first three options and it'll maybe make it a better trace, or I can use this last option here, the eyedropper, and pick a color from our model. It doesn't have to be black and white, but something with good contrast is better. So I'll grab a color there, and I'll say begin trace, and just like that we have lines in a sketch. I can play with these sliders to try to get them to be a better fit. Let's say, ooh, there was a good setting there. That's pretty smooth. Oh, that's pretty nice. All except for maybe this little area. I'll just go ahead and hit the green check. And now all the things that were nice sketch lines are usable lines in a sketch. I can click on this sketch and say edit the sketch. And I could add a little bit extra stuff in here for that area that it had trouble with. Maybe I start a spline and I just freehand some of this in instead of the whole Sasquatch. It's a little easier to freehand just a part of them in. And then I'll hit escape to finish that spline. And if we make an extruded cut, we can use this sketch to cut through all. I'm just going to choose flip side to cut and it'll leave him behind. Bam. Just like that, we have something that we can manufacture. If we want to get a DXF out of this, we can right click and say export the DXF, and it's going to save out a DXF that we could use. Maybe I call it Sasquatch. And after you have made any selections in here that you need to, you won't have to change anything for something like this. We just hit the green check and we can preview the DXF file that it'll save out. Just hit OK in there. And it'll save out a file that you could use for manufacturing. Alternately, if you wanted to make a keychain or something on your 3D printer, you could just do a save as and save it as an STL file. In there, I usually like to go into options and make sure the sliders are drug out all the way so that curves look nice on your STL file. And then just hit save, and it'll preview what it would make. And now you have two ways to manufacture something like this also.